Hey, my name is Peter Blaney and I did the transfer of heat. Heat is a form of energy. Heat transfer is the transmission of energy from one region to another as a result of the temperature difference between them. There are three kinds of heat transfers: conduction, convection, and radiation. Conduction is the transfer of heat between substances that are touching. The better the conductor, the faster the heat will be transferred. The transfer of conduction, the equation for that is Q equals Ka in parentheses T hot minus T cold, close parentheses T all over D, where A equals the cross-section area, K equals the thermal conductivity of the material, T hot equals the higher temp, T cold equals the lower temp, T equals the time taken, and D equals thickness of the material. So for the heat transfer called conduction, that's when the heat gets transferred when the two things are touching. So if I got fire on a burner that's hotter than this, the heat is being transferred from this to this. Let me get some data. This says it's about 150. This is about 80 degrees. And now the heat has been transferred. Starting with the equation, plugging in the numbers for the thermal conductivity of steel is 43. The cross-sectional area is 2 centimeters. This hotter temperature is 150 minus lower temperature of 90 times 5 seconds, how long it took, all over how thick the material was, which was 2 centimeters. You end up with 12,900 joules. The heat transfer convection is when warmer areas of liquid or gas rise to the cooler places of the liquid or gas. The equation for convection heat transfer is Q equals HCA in parentheses T hot minus T cold, close parentheses, where HC equals the heat transfer. For an example of convection heat transfer, this is boiling water. The water on the sides is hotter than the water in the middle because the water on the sides is coming from the bottom where the heater is, and the warmer water is moving to the cool water to transfer the heat. The temperature on the sides reads to be about 230 degrees, and the water in the middle is about 225. Equation here, plugging in 7.9, which is the coefficient of water, and 2, which is the cross-sectional area, and the temperatures, you end up at 79 joules for your final answer. Heat transfer by radiation is when heat is transferred without direct contact between objects. The equation for radiation transfer is Q equals O in parentheses T to the fourth hot minus T to the fourth cold, close parentheses A. The heat transfer called radiation is when there is a heat transfer without direct contact. So if I start up here and take the temperature, it's about 100 degrees, and when I move down here, it's about 120 degrees, and the heat from down in here is transferring up in here without direct contact. Starting with the equation here, you plug in the Stefan-Boltzmann constant and then both of the temperatures, and you end up with 226.81492 times 10 to the negative 8th.